What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we're doing another fantasy draft rebuild. Of course, this one's a Legends one. You could probably tell by the thumbnail or the title. There's probably like, I don't know, Ray Lewis or someone on the damn thumb. Oh, Jesus, punched the microphone on the thumbnail. But, of course, today, I don't know if it actually was shown in the thumbnail or anything, we're going to do a sim version. And you know how this game loves to attack me in all sorts of ways. So we're going to probably end up with a very bad team. Now, the thing is, I really wanted to use a roster that didn't have, like, every single player as, like, a 99 overall, but I suppose there are a lot of lower guys, you know, like Charles Tillman here, Lance Briggs. Some of the ages are interesting. You got, like, 20, 21. I don't really know, you know, where you go from 20. I guess maybe some of the players were built off of players already in the league. But I'm not going to play, you know, I'm not going to draft a single player. Hopefully they land a decent QB. That's all I want. Just land a QB over 90 overall, because obviously there's going to be a lot of them, you know, really young. This is going to be a challenge. I think we're going to give ourselves 4 years to get a Super Bowl win, because at the end of the day, I don't even know if we're going to be able to control this, because every team's going to have really good players. So it's going to be a lot of luck today. Just like I would hopefully get enough luck for you guys to like and subscribe today. You know, follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Check out the second channel, PKR Plays. Follow me on twitch.tv/Jeromepkr. Okay, that's enough. Enough of that. So, of course, this is the draft. If I was personally drafting, I'm just saying I would probably go Randy Moss. I'm just saying. Just please do not take a real player. Please do not take Aaron Donald. Actually, wait a minute. Oh, they're gonna take real players because none of these legends have development. So there's a very good chance they're gonna take someone like Bobby Wagner, or I don't even know. I mean, there's nothing else we can do. We just gotta accept it. I actually can't believe how long this is taking. This is, I would say it's, well, I guess to be fair, it's kind of moving along a little bit, but several minutes. It's normally the fantasy draft doesn't take this long, I don't feel. I don't know if it's because there's more higher overall players, so the draft is, let's see how that would matter. I would assume the AI, now there is an algorithm to it. They take in dev, they actually take an age for once. I remember when fantasy drafts, they didn't care about age at all. They're like, screw it, you're coming on our team. I mean, they still obviously make poor decisions. You know, if you're drafting Tom Brady at all in a fantasy draft, outside of maybe like a 1-year challenge or something, not a good idea. I just hope, I would assume, I don't know how many legends the person added, but I would assume everyone's going to land a QB. Like, even if our guy's like 88 overall, I don't know, like, I'm not sure. I can't think of like a low overall legend QB, but as long as we get some sort of QB, even if it's like Russell Wilson or something, I don't care. As long as it's a decent QB, we better not be stuck with like 77 overall player. Here we go. There's the overall. So before we actually look at the team, I want to see the overalls just to see. Actually, no, let's not do that because then we're, yeah, okay, never mind. Never mind. Let's take a look at the offense. Ooh, okay. We got Jeff. Oh, they matched Peyton Manning with Jeff Saturday. They went for 2 running backs and Cohen. To be fair, Cohen's later in the draft, so that might actually be a little bit of a trade bait type of decision. Oh, they went Hawkinson. Okay, tight end's not as bad. Okay, they actually did really well. I'm not a huge fan of the Jason Peters move because obviously he's like 37. But this is not the worst thing that could happen. We have Calvin Johnson. We have Walter Payton. We have Peyton Manning. Josh Rosen, though. Now, that's an interesting one. That's a high pick I don't like to see. Defensively now, okay, so we did end up with Lawrence Taylor. We ended up with Mean Joe Green. We did get Deion Sanders, and we got Charles Tillman. Okay. I don't know. Oh, they landed 2 DTs. John Henderson as well. Okay, this team did pretty well, actually. This team did really well. I don't want to put Lawrence Taylor on the defensive line, but I'm gonna put Lawrence Taylor on the defensive line. Of course, we are going to make all of the legends X Factor, most likely. You know, we're going to make Charles Tillman superstar. Maynard will make superstar. And, yeah, I mean, obviously we're not going to just make Charles Tillman X Factor, but I'm not going to do that for the other players, even though I probably should. It's just, it would take so long. Like, please don't make me do this. Please. Realistically, it doesn't even matter if they're superstar or not, because, you know, Walter's 99, Peyton's 99, so it really doesn't matter. But I think it looks better if we do it. So We'll change some of the devs, and we will need to make some trades. Free agency might be actually decent. Oh, wow, really? Every team, no, they cleaned it out. Nope. Even when it's all legends, we still got to get the legend. Quentin Nelson. We trade Gerald McCoy, Tim Williams, and a second-round pick. I try to get one of the normal dev guys. I'm telling you, at a point of 99 overall, it just doesn't matter. They don't care. They're like, he's still a god, so you can't have him. We traded Mohamed Sanu and Lorenzo Carter for pick 13 from the Steelers. I'm not really sure how much a player from the draft is really going to help us, but, here we are. We traded Rashawn Melvin, Orlando Scandrick, and a 6th-round pick for a 4th-round pick. I'm trying to get every little ounce we can out of here. I think we're going to keep Tony Dorsett for a year and then try to trade him next season, because first year for a fantasy draft, it's just impossible to trade players for some reason, so I'm just going to, I don't know what happened there. I'm just going to just deal with it. Really wanted to get a lineman, but they're not doing it. Ooh, we should try to trade Peters, actually. Screw that. We actually got a decent trade here. Adam Humphries, Jermaine Gresham, and Jason Peters for Teddy Bruschi. We trade 13, a 3rd next, and Willis for pick 1. I'm going to try to use that to make one final trade to make this roster good. About damn time I got to trade Cohen, Kendricks, and pick 1 for Mario Williams. We trade Alakon, a 4th and a 5th for the Chiefs' 1st-round pick, projected 30. I do not know, because pretty much every team is solid. We trade Derby, a 4th next, and McGee for 29. I don't want to trade that much, but D4 to 2nd round and the 1st round for Joe here, which is a bit of a yikes, but at least the team is completely filled, and we might actually win the bowl year 1. Not going to lie, we might. All right, here we go. This is what the team looks like for year 1, which very well, once again, could be a Super Bowl year right out the gate. We have, a solid line. Probably look to replace right guard at some point soon. Wide receiver, maybe Westbrook, but meh. I don't really think we have to worry about that. Looking at Teddy Bruschi, I only made him a star development player just because I felt like there's a lot of 90-ish overall linebackers, even lower, like Levante David, that were a star development this year. So, I don't know. I think it makes sense. Maybe he'll go up and dev on his own. I don't know. And then looking at the rest, it's a great team. Looking at the draft, strong safety, the number 1 need, linebacker right up there as well. And then I suppose a right guard. Outside of that, though, this should be a pretty historic season. So we re-signed Harrison Butker to a 3-year deal. Ooh, that's a cheap contract. I am cheesing today. Headed to the playoffs. Let's see if we make... we're a really good team. If we don't make it, I'd be shocked. And here we are, not making the playoffs at 8-8. We're an amazing team. I don't know why we didn't make the playoffs. We have by far the best, well, maybe not by far the best, but we have probably the best roster in the league, but I guess we don't. Mean Joe Green with a 26-sack performance. It's an all-time season, I would assume, because obviously there's a lot of legends back in the league, so there might be some big numbers there as well. Lawrence Taylor, 13.5. Mario Williams with 8.5. Looking at the interceptions, Deion Sanders with 4. Okay, fair enough. Kicking, Harrison Butker. I wonder how much that had to play a factor, because in fairness, that's a lot of missed kicks. Dan Marino, MVP of the league. Of course he does it again. Of course he does it at a young age again. Are they all? No, Phillip Rivers. Dan Marino, Elway, Steve Young, Troy Aikman, Barry Sanders, Randall Cunningham, Tomlinson, Vic, Tarkenton, and Phillip Rivers. As you will. Makes sense, right? Looking at the NFC side, John Elway with Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Julius Peppers. John Elway, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Obviously, that's all going to be the same pretty much. Of course, Andrew Luck gets involved. Makes sense. Running back, Walter Payton, number 2. Calvin Johnson, best wide receiver in the league. Best D lineman, Mean Joe. I got to take a look at Peppers here. Peppers must have had a year and a half. Let's actually take a look at everyone. So Peyton Manning had the most yards. The most touchdowns goes to Dan Marino, Luck, Peyton Manning. I'm surprised. Yeah, I was about to say Phillip Rivers had a really good year. L.A. Rodgers, a lot of picks this year. This is normally we don't see this many interceptions. Speaking of interceptions, who had the lowest? It was probably Phillip. As far as eligible players go, yeah, Phillip, Cunningham. It's a really good... Actually, the yards are a little low. Yeah, Phillip Rivers had a really good year. The most yards goes to Barry Sanders. Jim Brown's up there. Emmitt Smith. Todd Gurley, Walter Payton. Who had the most yards per carry? Barry was, that's filth levels. Earl Campbell with 19 touchdowns. Bettis with 17. Calvin, yardage weren't really good. It wasn't really that great. 1,300 yards. You thought maybe Jerry Rice would have been like 1,700, 1,800. I suppose with this many talented players, it's bound to, happen where there's just too many players to get the ball to. Calvin with most touchdowns. TJ Huchmanzana. The only thing, whenever I think of him, I remember that wide open fourth down that he let hit his chest and they lost in the playoffs. That's the main thing I remember. Most tackles goes to Avery Williamson. Sack totals, Julius Peppers with 29. Look at this. Bruce Smith, pretty solid. Reggie White, pretty solid. But yeah, those numbers are insane. Most picks goes to Mike Haynes with 5. Any all-time kickers? Matthew McCrane, that's got to be a real-life player, right? Well, a real-life player from the ages. Adam Vinatieri. Punting, I really don't. It is what it is. Kick returns, Herschel Walker with 2. Devin Hester with 2. Really not a great number for him there. Number 80. Josh Cribbs with a return. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning, actually, but this roster is literally the highest downloaded Legends roster, and I definitely recommend it. This person put a lot of effort into it, and it really sucks that they put so much effort into it. Even the traits are changed, but of course the game, you can't change development traits. Well, why would you? Not ruining all of these great players or all these great people's hard work by making everyone normal dev. You would never. I would never do that if I was a game company. I don't think EA would either. And the winner of the Super Bowl is the Seahawks. Let's actually take a look at the Seahawks and Raiders overall. I just want to see where they rank. A lot of these teams are pretty high overall. So 93 for the Raiders, and the Seahawks are 92. We, on the other hand, are also 93. So, yeah, it is going to be a lot of luck. I mean, you've seen it. A lot of teams are in the 90s, so even though I think we're an amazing team, I don't know. That's pretty much all you can really say about it. We got some more backups we'll try to get. And, Josh Dobbs, that could be a savior and a half. A nice little 7-year deal for a backup QB. I mean, not that it really matters. I don't think it matters when you have injuries off. Zach Pascal, who's always deving up, but obviously not in this situation because he's not a starter. Deshaun Shedd wants more than minimum at the age of 31. Like, relax, pal. So, it appears there's a lot of running backs here. Look at the names. Like, these names, they're just so good. Those names are amazing. Like, those are all, like, fun names. Lenny Moore. Chris Johnson there. Warwick Dunn. Man, this roster's fun. The problem for me, though, is there might be a little too many legends, like I said, because, it kind of takes away from the fact that everyone's a legend. It's like if in the NFL every single quarterback was Patrick Mahomes, it wouldn't make Patrick Mahomes special. It's like, what's so special about every single player playing the exact same, or every single player being really good? Like Dak Prescott is a free agent here because every team has like an 85 to 90 plus overall QB. Dante Hall might actually go for him. He might be a better player than Westbrook. We'll offer a couple of really low ball deals, which in this case is probably not even that low ball because there's going to be a lot of these players that aren't even going to find an actual roster because there's so much talent. We got a couple of positions to play backup. We also did get a starter. We got Harrison to actually start for us. 75 overall star. We got him on a 7-year, $24 million deal, which is, over time, I suppose, going to be a super steal once the year 4 mark hits and this team is absolutely broke. I forgot about DevUps, and Joe Schobert definitely didn't forget because he is now superstar development. Milano did not dev up. Of course, Harrison's going to be the new starting strong safety. Looking at the offensive side of things, I don't think anyone dev'd up, but I don't think we expected them to because the majority of the team is already max dev. But if we can try to make a trade to upgrade the outside linebacker position or the right guard position, that would be great. Honestly, do we even want to draft? What picks do we have, actually? We have picks 7, 15, and nothing else. All right, so we have pick 7 in the draft. There's some decent players here, but the main one that I would want is the linebacker, Mr. Paul Wooden. The actual 40 times speed isn't great. The rest is solid, and the skills are great. He's a late first, so I think we could probably move to about 14 or 15, maybe pick up a second round for the next year. So, I mean, if there's a chance for me to pick up a second round for the next year, is there even a debate that I'm going to do it or not? Let's be honest. We have to trade Winters, Rosen, and 7 to get 14 and 46. You would have to trade that 46 plus a third round probably to get to where they just got. So I am not going to forget this, Ravens. I am going to scam you. And by scam you, I mean literally just take back what is deserved to us. First, we have to actually find something that they want from us. And then we have to overpay. Well, they have to overpay. I'm not going to get rid of Milano just yet because obviously we kind of have to make sure that we do end up actually getting the player we want. Oh, here we go. Poyer. I honestly think they should owe us another second round. I think we're going to ask for a second round next year off them. What? Is green not what it used to be? I feel like green isn't what it used to be here. Oh, it's because, yeah, I figured. I'm just going to let him get away with it. Who cares? Hopefully they just draft poorly. It does not appear that they did that. Let's go to 14 and hope that linebacker is there. Neil Young is there. Well, he isn't there anymore. He was just taken. Paul Wooden, the linebacker. Let's take him. He is hidden. Oh no, we reached 1 pick. Yikes. New starter probably, right? Milano's normal development. So let's go to the next round and see if we can get to pick 1 in the second because assuming our guard is still there, we have a guard. That's kind of the whole point. Looks pretty decent. We might even take Adam Jordan later on, but we'll see. That's literally all we have on our draft board because A, we have like no players, or no draft picks, and B, we don't really have that much to actually go for anyways. We're going to give him Milano and good old Darren Lee for pick 33. I didn't mean to rhyme, but I did. I'm not going to give him any of our draft picks because, those 2 players alone are pretty young and very developable. So, carry forward, please just be hidden. That is quite a bit better than just hidden because he's also very athletic and his overall is good. So whether he's star, superstar, doesn't matter. He's automatically better than who we had. So I'm happy. The question is, do we go for the center anyways? Because he did skip the combine. Looks decent. He's young. I mean, that's got to be at least hidden, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be, but usually it is if they're... I suppose Thuney in the future, Ramczyk in the future, but I'm kind of debating this one. I don't know. Yeah, screw it. Adam Johnson. And screw it indeed. That was a good decision. A little bit on the weaker side, but a good pure center, I suppose, even though we have Saturday for the rest of time. Maybe able to move him over or something like that. But, I mean, I like it. It's a good pick. Can we get to, the early third, grab Bond, and then just be done with it and be done with the draft? We traded 47, 149, and Ford for the Bills. 67 this. 68 next. Oh, yeah, and then a 5th round. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I forgot we had a mid-second. We were gaining a high third, so it actually did make sense that we were getting that much extra. Wes Banks goes that late? Wasn't that the quarterback we saw? Emmanuel Bond we're going to take, and I like drafting well, right? It makes us look good, but I don't need it. Give me the hidden luck in a different rebuild, please. This rebuild's all about luck. Half of these players aren't even going to get their full potential anyways. Just give us a couple of sim wins, get to the playoffs, that's it. Leave the draft luck for another one, please. We still have to do the Jets at some point. Some other guys, some tough, realistic rebuilds coming up soon. Let's take a look at the draft. We had a really good draft. I don't know. Even if everyone's star development, great draft, can't be mad with it. And there's a word in front of his development of star. I like it. Carry forward. Now, this is the guy I would like to have superstar more than ever because he's obviously a lineman. Unfortunately not. Covers the ball medium. Is he like a tight end as well? What's the story? Adam Jordan. This guy could be superstar, which would make things interesting. Okay, a little bit of me is kind of happy that he wasn't because then we'd have ourselves a question mark. But yeah, then we don't have to worry about it. He'll be a backup. Pretty much all those guys. Well, the last 2 will be backups. The first 2 will be starters. And, I mean, let's move on to it already. There's not much more we can get into. The team's pretty much the same. We got slightly better in development-wise. Didn't really gain too much talent. We might honestly keep Dorsett again because teams just aren't looking to trade. Ooh, we're not. He's on a... Nope, we're trading him. We trade Poyer, Dorsett, and a third-round pick for the Steelers' first and second-round picks. All right, this is what the roster looks like. Apparently, it's a 92 overall, which we were like just at 94, 95 a second ago. I don't know if it was anything to do with the backup running back position or what's the story, but it's a very good roster, and hopefully it's good enough to win a Super Bowl, let alone, I guess, make a Super Bowl. I mean, this team is absolutely nuts. Mean Joe, I mean, he's just filthy. Looking at re-signings, Jonathan Jones is one of them, but I don't think we can afford all... I mean, we're definitely can't afford all these players. Definitely not going to be able to afford someone that's lower overall, so I think we're just going to let him go. All right, let's see if we can make the playoffs. We look pretty good and primed, and we do. We actually win a very good amount of games in a row. What is the number? It was one. We lost one of those games. We got 4 games in a row. We won 7 out of the last 8. The Packers did kind of slide a bit. I don't know if they made the playoffs, but they took a couple of losses there near the end, and then the rest of the division was just trash anyways. Let's take a look at these passing numbers. Peyton Manning, a bit of a down year. 30 touchdowns, 7 picks, just under 4,000 yards. Walter Payton just, beasting up as usual. Actually better this year than last year. Receiving, kind of disappointing, but still got the job done. We're in the postseason. We have a bye week. Sack totals, Lawrence Taylor up in sacks, and Mean Joe Green basically just a little over half of his sacks last year, which is brutal. Mario Williams wasn't great. More pick totals from everyone else, but Deion Sanders consistent as hell. And Harrison Butker hit every single kick as opposed to missing 6 last season. So, I mean, it is what it is. Barry Sanders, MVP, with Aaron Rodgers, his teammate, right behind him, which is... Okay, that's definitely interesting. We'll have to take a look at those numbers for sure. Bond, Rookie of the Year, didn't even really play, did he? How the hell is Wooden not player of the... I don't even know. Best running back goes to Walter. Best O-lineman goes to Jeff Saturday. Jari Evans, interesting name there. I remember when he was a beast. And that was pretty much it. Oh, Harrison Butker is the best kicker as well. Let's advance the week after we get our morale boost here. And we shall see if we can do the job. I don't know, because once again, the overalls are very close. So this one, there's definitely going to be a little bit of luck needed, which we usually don't have a good history with needing luck. Usually when we're the better team by like 10 overalls, we lose. So yeah, 95 to their 91. It's a good roster. It's just, that's it. It's just, that's all I've got for you. A nice nighttime game. Ooh, a classic Patriots versus Colts matchup. Steve Young versus Peyton Manning. This is very interesting. 7-0, 14-0. Please. Okay, good job. 7-14, 14 all. Right before half, they score a field goal, which sucks, but it could have been worse. Start of the third. Hey, not looking bad. Still not looking bad. Okay, I'm liking it. They don't get their 2-point conversion. This is a close call here. Oh, do we have the ball? We have the ball. We're in the championship game. That was a close game versus the Saints. Let's take a look at the stats. Peyton Manning, really low yardage, but completion percentage pretty high. Touchdowns really good, and then picks low. Rushing, Walter Payton was just balling out. Tiki Barber, bit of a yikes, not going to lie. And what else do we have? Defensively, Mean Joe, 3 sacks, balled out. Charles Tillman with a pick, and Greg Zuerlein with a missed field goal, which, I mean, that's kind of huge. They would have had a chance to win the game there with a field goal on that last try there, but thankfully Zuerlein didn't want to go to the Super Bowl. The 9-7 Cardinals, who are a 93 overall, their 3 main players are not even legends. They're just regular players. The Colts are in the Super Bowl. What a shot. This is interesting. Basically a history redo if we win. 10-7. Nice. Cardinals 14-10. Offense is doing pretty well right now. Defense is doing all right. Offense is doing really well. Start of the second half, we are up 10. Obviously, anyone's game, especially when they score 3. I don't want to. Yeah, we done it. We're in the Super Bowl. Let's go. The Bears get a rematch against the Colts. Of course, it's a legendary rebuild, so it's a little bit different. But either way, Peyton Manning, yards are low again. Attempts are low in general, but the completion percentage is there. No picks. You outperform Otto Graham technically. Kinda. Not really, actually. Walter Payton, 5.4 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. John Riggins, what's his speed? It's got to be pretty low. Brian Westbrook, receivers. They had Tyreek Hill. Wow, okay. They got some names on their team. Then again, who doesn't? Sack totals, Lawrence Taylor with 2. John Henderson with 1. Good stuff, fellas. No picks, of course. McManus missed a kick. I don't know how that would have affected it. I don't think it would have mattered, but I don't know. Maybe there was a 4th down decision that they went for that they probably wouldn't have if they had the field goal. I don't know. Pro Bowl, obviously we don't care because we are not going to participate in that. We are going to the Super Bowl against these Colts, 11-5 versus their 10-6. Any dev-ups? I'm trying to think. Maybe tight end? I don't know. Doubt it. No tight end, no wide receiver. Defensively, Joe Schobert balled out. He's now an X Factor. Look at him go. Zone Hawk. I don't think there was any other dev ups. Charles Tillman didn't go up. Either way, I mean, we got 1 dev up. And yeah, I didn't really expect many at all with how good our team was. 94 overall Colts. Von Miller, Rogers, Kittle. Oh yeah, we forgot about the stats of Barry and Aaron. Well, okay. I mean, I guess since we're here, I clicked the wrong thing. We'll take a look at how they got here. Beat the Texans. Where are they? The Patriots, the Chargers, and then now they're going to beat us. Hopefully not, but it looks pretty good for them. Rodgers, 46 touchdowns, 10 picks, under 4,200 yards, just barely. Barry Sanders, 18 touchdowns, 1,920 yards. He had 2,500 total yards and near 30 touchdowns. It's the greatest season of all time. And we get to play him. Yay. Walter versus Barry, 2 great running backs. This is going to be a battle. Or hopefully it's just a blowout and we just win. But hey, we went from missing the Super Bowl and the playoffs to making the playoffs and being in the Super Bowl. Going to the end of the game, and the Colts with Barry come out swinging. Walter on his own, though. Okay, maybe it is a bit of a battle of the running backs. This is an epic game. Really would have liked to score before that. Okay. This is such a game. Look at this. We're up by 14. They get a touchdown. We win the game. The Bears get their redemption, kind of, because obviously this is a complete, just weird universe that just does not exist. However, we did get the victory. You know, it's still a Super Bowl title regardless of what the rosters are, legends or not. And I am actually a little surprised because, you know, once again, we missed the playoffs, and it is complete. I mean, I wouldn't say complete luck, but there's a lot of luck involved in this because, ironically, it looks like Andrew Luck with number 12, but Aaron Rodgers. There's a lot of luck because all the teams are very solid. I don't know if there's a single roster under 90, and if it is, it'd be like 88 or 89. You know, a little bit later maybe. But right now, there definitely isn't any better than that. Sanders, Dion. It's really cool. Like, whoever made this put so much effort. They must monetize this roster or something. Like, there must be like donationware or some sort of like PayPal link or their YouTube channel. It's got to be something because they put so much effort into this. Like, they have all the numbers correct. They have all the traits correct pretty much. I would assume they probably changed, you know, you can see Brewski's got the little neck roll. They changed the way they look and all that. That's insane, man. Hope they keep doing these rosters. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Of course, Peyton Manning. Yeah, I mean, I've looked at most of the faces, and that's probably the closest you're going to get without, you know, modding. Peyton Manning did have to throw a bit more today, and it worked out for him. 309 yards, 75% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns. Looking at the rushing game, it was a battle of the backs, and I suppose technically Barry did do better, but either way, Marcus Allen as a backup. Either way, really impressed. Was that? Okay, dude. In fairness, it was a 1-yarder, so who would expect it? You know, Calvin Johnson with a really good game as well. Picks, Jonathan Jones with the pick. Okay, dude. Mean Joe Green, Von Miller, and Lawrence Taylor with a sack. And that is the Super Bowl season. We'll do at least one more a year, and then depending on how that goes, maybe we'll do another after that, because I do like to see if we win one Super Bowl, can we win another one within the next 2 seasons? So we will see, but let's go on to these re-signings, which I don't think, outside of Jonathan Jones, there is anyone. Yeah, we offered on Darian, it didn't work out, so we're going to have to let these 2 guys go. Maybe we can make a last-second splurge in free agency. I'm not really sure who would be there, but we lost Jonathan Jones, so there might be someone. Ooh, there's a couple of running backs here you can see. Once again, Marshall Faulk, number 1, a 7-year 91. Like, the money does. Ooh, Matt Forte, though. Be sick to have him. He was actually a really good running back. Now, what's his receiving stats? I mean, this guy's got it all. Like, every roster's perfect. Like, every team player pretty much is perfect. It's just absolutely insane. Xavier Howard back in free agency. I mean, it's a 1-year deal, right? Let's splurge. I mean, let's make the team better than it was, I suppose. So we do get Xavier Howard on that 1-year deal. We also get Jonathan Jones on a 3-year cheap deal. I did offer on Devin Hester to try and be a return man for us, but I don't know. Damn, son, that would have been so sick. Obviously, we can't really afford any of these expensive contracts that everyone's trying to offer, so they'll be broke in a few years. Well, we'll be broke as well, but at least we'll have a few more players than they will. So we have pick 23, and I mean, this team really, if you're drafting, you're just kind of drafting for the future. Guys, you're not going to be able to re-sign. Bowens looks all right. Matthews, however, I think probably the number 1 pick for us, because our left tackle is on the older side anyways, so I think we're going to move to like 17 or maybe 16 and trade up for him. We trade Cam Robinson, that's the one. Pick 32 and 64 to move up to 15 to grab this left tackle who looks pretty damn solid. Obviously, we could have just made a terrible decision. He could be normal development, but Pearson Matthews, 22, looks decent, and he is hidden with 76. Now, it's rare to get a superstar, so he's probably going to be star, but our guy right now is star, right? I believe. How old is he? Yeah, Thuney is star. We can't really replace Thuney yet anyways, but he's 28 star, so I suppose Matthews will be his replacement in the future. Probably not just yet, but at some point he will be. Ooh, yikes, Texans pick. And then look at the rest of our draft class. I mean, I suppose wide receiver. Who's our number 3 right now? Is it Westbrook still? And maybe we should go for wide receiver, actually. It is still Westbrook. Yeah, we probably should. Yeah, we're probably going to have to re-sign people soon-ish, so I think it's actually going to go with Rayshawn Bowens. Oh, he's a late second hidden. 73, I mean, at least he's hidden. Really good Excel. Speed is a little rough. Agility's meh. Jumping is meh. Kind of jukey. I mean, I suppose he's a good pick. Good number 3. All right, so it's now late second, and we have a corner, another Pearson guy. A corner. 74 overall, and another hidden. I am surprised, but at the same time, it's us. Are you really that surprised? Especially since it's a rebuild where we don't really need good development people, so we're using up all of our good fortune. I'm just so happy I'm just so happy about that. It's amazing. Why wouldn't I want to waste all of my good draft fortune right now when I don't really need it? Compared to a rebuild in the future. Yeah, it's who cares, right? We trade pick 136, 192, and 224 for the Vikings 4th round pick, and we are also going to trade for the Seahawks 4th round pick as well, and take our final 2 players we have on our board. A 4th next year should do it, right? Really? A 4th and a 5th next year? Okay, sleazers. It definitely seems like a quantity thing. Like, I feel like if I would have given them a 7th round next year, they would have taken it, right? I'm not the only one that thinks that, right? And another hidden development. Okay, I'm also not going to be hitting the X button ever again because I don't like that. I'm just going to put, what are we going to put? We'll put one of these guys on the board, and we're going to very cautiously press A twice. And that guy's normal development. So our good fortune kind of ended. He's still got potential, but In a rebuild specifically like this, a special legend rebuild, probably not going to worry about him at all. And I accidentally skipped. I do not know why. Great, let's find him. Adrian Walter, there's the right tackle. He's a good pick, right? Star development. Okay, I mean, it's a good pick. Probably going to be a starter for us in the future. Let's see. Pearson McCarthy might be number 3 of the future. I don't know about an actual star development. I mean, we can't afford everyone, so at some point we're going to end up having to let one of these guys go. Actually, let's just go by overall, because they're all going to be kind of lower overalls. Where's the last one? He was a left tackle. Probably should have just looked at left tackle. Pearson Matthews. Take a look at the development. So far, all stars and another superstar. Okay, another superstar. That is a very good pick. This is what the roster looks like for year 3. Could be the final year. Kind of depends on, like I said, what we do. If we miss the playoffs completely, I'm probably going to end it. If we win the Super Bowl, definitely going to end it. And anything in between, probably do a finally 4th season. Bonus season or not. We'll see. Oh, Joe needs a re-signing right now. Yikes. Oh, well. Yeah, we're just going to let those guys go. I suppose it's good that we drafted the tackles we did. I didn't think it was going to be that soon. I thought it was at least another year, but I guess not. We do not get a bye week this time. However, we do easily the best in the division. I think Peyton Manning has the most touchdowns in the season for any QB right now, 46. Walter Payton, another really good year. He keeps doing better every year. Calvin, really good year. Blocking anyways. Joe, see ya later, Joe. I suppose I'm not even that mad that he's going to be gone. Mean Joe Green, 23.5, gets almost back to that year 1 status. Still a really good year. Lawrence Taylor with 18 pick totals. Deion Sanders busted out to 6. Okay, dude. MVP goes to Michael Vick. Barry Sanders back at number 3. Aaron Rodgers at number 5. Peyton Manning number 6. Walter at number 9. Walter Payton was the best player of the year on the NFC side, but only number 9 for MVP, which is brutal. Mean Joe Green with Defensive Player of the Year. Bowens with Rookie of the Year. QB of the Year for the NFC side. Peyton Manning, Walter for running back. Calvin for wide receiver. Saturday just barely missed best O-line. D-line, Joe Green. DB, surprisingly not Deion. Kicker. We got a lot of awards, but what we didn't get is a freaking bye week. I'll also show you guys we didn't force any wins for the season. I think we might have already showed that, did we? I don't even know. So let's take a look at the Packers, because they've been, kind of side by side with us, and yet here they are, 5-9-1 or something, so kind of weird. Or 5-11, actually, 5-11, which is even worse. Let's take a look at who wins this game. 97 overall Chicago versus the 93 Cowboys. Ooh, they do have Mahomes, though. All right, Dallas, if that even is your real name. 7-3, 14-3. Okay, good start. Good start. Say halftime, it's 17-3. It's 24-3. It's looking like a freaking blowout as the Cowboys cannot put up more than 3 points. Man, things just don't change no matter what the roster is, right? I'm sorry, Cowboys fans, but I said it. Mahomes under 100 yards. That might be the best defensive performance I've ever seen. I know he didn't throw any picks, but under 100 yards. Their ground game was under 60? I mean, okay, dude. I will definitely... half of our receivers had more receiving yards than their entire team. Defensively, Mean Joe and Lawrence Taylor absolutely balled out. Kicking, don't worry about the kicking. Forget anyone even said anything about kicking. Going against the Redskins now, who are a 12-4 team. Ooh, 94 overall, though. All right, time to take down the Redskins. Okay, they turn the ball over quickly. We get 3 off of it. This is an interesting one. It looks like there's been a few turnovers, both sides so far. We missed the extra point. Really? Now we only have a field goal lead rather than 4. Now we have only a 6-point lead rather than 7. We only have a 14... Wait. Of course, we absolutely locked them down on defense. The first half, kind of iffy. And then the second half, defense just balled out as they do. And Donovan McNabb, okay, a little tiny bit of a throwback when he was a Redskin. Marshall Faulk, 7 for 5. All right. You say so. Teddy Bruschi with 2 picks. Harrison Butker with his miss. He got a blocked extra... Oh, no, his field goal was blocked. He did miss that extra point, too, though. Peyton Manning has an upgrade point. Can even... Oh, he can. Scrambler. Shocker there. Imagine he's actually, 83 speed or something because of, Scrambler. Like I said, he gets a speed upgrade. 60 speed, he's a god. Protected. Oh, that's a beautiful upgrade. Obviously, he had that literally the whole way, but still. So it's an ability that is definitely fitting for him. Buccaneers, 93 overall Bucks with, Andrew Luck. Yikes. Going to the end of the game, 3-0. Yeah, you can have your little 3 points, but we'll take our 7-point drives. Yeah, keep on putting up field goals. We'll put up touchdowns. Andrew, but please keep putting up field goals. It's 28-16. Defense usually can get the job done in a situation like this, and they 100% do. Yeah, you can have your little touchdown. Okay, defense, please. We are about to head to the Super Bowl, though. That was a very solid performance there. And Peyton Manning with a 3-touchdown, 0-pick performance finally gets a chance to beat up on his, I suppose, predecessor. Is that what they call it? No. Yeah. No? What the hell is it? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Either way, Andrew Luck retired early, so who gives nothing. The DTs went off. John Henderson really didn't say much for himself statistically this entire rebuild. But hey, he got 2 sacks on that one. Probably a very big part. They did, even though it was kind of garbage time, they did come up with enough scores near the end to almost make the comeback. If it was like a 3rd down sack by John Henderson, that could have taken away 7 points. You don't know the situation. And look at this. Going against the Colts again. And they're a 95 overall. I'm scared. Barry Sanders, he got himself from normal to superstar X Factor all on his own. Damn. In fairness, Walter Payton would have done the same. Payton would have probably gotten to X Factor. He definitely would have gotten to superstar. Calvin would have gotten to superstar or X Factor. So, it is what it is. Here it is, the final game. We can win back to oh my God. Could we not, Barry? Please, Barry Sanders has another long touchdown to early start a Super Bowl against us. And here, holy crap, 31 points in the first half for us. This is a monster showing. However, you've got to be kidding me. 31 points in the first half. We can't hold a lead. We do get 7 here. 2 minutes left. The Colts have a chance to drive. 4th and 15. They clutch it. I kind of want to see this. I kind of want to see it happen. Sitting in a cover 3. All of the players are gods, so I guess we'll use Henderson because he's more of a run stopper, I suppose. He's double teamed. Look how big he is. He's huge. And they do set up a good chance at a touchdown. Let's see. From the 21. 3-man deep seems a little weird here, but that's what the game wanted to do. I suppose we'll go with Williams because he's the worst on the field at this point in time. They're going to take the shot. Throws it up. Dion tries to get the pick. Cannot. And we have won back-to-back Super Bowls. Legendary fantasy draft sim rebuild is a major success. And I could not have done it without all of you guys liking and subbing. So I'm so happy you did that. And if you didn't, hey, there's still time. There's still time. You could hit the bell notification thing too. I think that's a thing people do. Anyways, who's going to be the Super Bowl MVP this time? Aaron Rodgers, unfortunate. Hey, as a Packers fan, if Rodgers goes to 2 more Super Bowls and loses both, I don't even care. I just want to see more. I don't care. Seymour Skinner. I'm sorry, that was kind of lame. But the player of the game this time is Lawrence Taylor, who kind of did it all. He had a pick, a touchdown, probably a pick 6, with a sack. Good stuff. We already seen the podium. We've seen the animations. I just wanted to see who MVP was. Looking at the stats, very similar game from both of them. The difference is Payne did not throw a pick, and that might have, we've seen it was probably a pick 6. That might have been the huge difference. I'm going to say Walter technically did better this game because he was more consistent, where Barry had a huge rushing touchdown early on in the game, which, especially against this defense, kind of lucky, right? Kind of lucky. Ooh, they missed 2 field goals. Yikes. Okay, Harrison Butker, maybe I'm not as mad at you as I thought it was. Maybe some of us overreacted. And by some of us, I mean the viewers. Obviously, I would never do that. But hey, we finished with a 97 overall roster, technically. Of course, it was a 97 before I just hit sim, I think, right? I think it was. Anyways, though, that's pretty much the video. Like I said, if you liked it, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. That's the main thing, besides leaving a comment. And maybe check out the second channel, PKR Plays. Twitch.tv/Jeromepkr. We will have a Flyers off-season stream at some point next week, I believe, because we have at least one game. Actually, no, at least two. I think I mentioned during the stream we're going to play the championship game. If we win that, we have the Super Bowl. And if we lose that, we have the Pro Bowl, assuming our guys made it. But anyways, that's going to be the rebuild today. That's going to be the rest of the videos for the weekend. So hopefully you guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the video, whatever it may be. Check out some more. I've got literally thousands. But tomorrow, I think will be that Flyers video, actually. Maybe Mutt Draft as well. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. If you have any rebuild challenge ideas, leave them in the comment section below. But until next video, see ya!